I'm Jessie Wusthoff, a disability-focused DEI consultant, here to tell you 5 ways you can make your company more inclusive. Number 1, show that it is safe. That means leaders who are sharing their lived experiences, signaling that it is safe to do so at work. If you have a senior leader who speaks openly about having a disability, it can significantly increase a sense of normalcy and safety for employees to disclose as well. I have seen this work firsthand, both when I have disclosed, seeing people opt into disclosing more, as well as my own increased sense of safety when an executive talked about their disability. When employees feel safe disclosing, they're more likely to ask for what they need in accommodations, and you have the data to do a proper equity analysis. It's a win-win. Number 2 is make learning personal. Real stories, they just make more impact than hypotheticals. I can tell you what to do and I can tell you why to do it or why not to do it. But when you hear someone's personal story, it just resonates more. It's going to make it easier to remember what you learned and easier to apply those learnings. You can do this different ways. You can do a series where employees speak and share their stories. You can bring in outside speakers. You can even check out filmforward.io. They have a suite of films that you can work with them to bring to your company and have these reflection exercises to create a full learning loop. At the end of the day, those personal stories, they're just a lot more enjoyable and meaningful to listen to than a dry PowerPoint. So think through how to bring those stories into your company. Number 3, coach leadership. Much of advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion is actually unlearning behaviors before you can learn new ones. A coach can have that personalized approach to really help leaders see where their intent and where their impact is not aligning. You might have someone who feels like they're demonstrating their knowledge, say something like, "I don't see color," or "I don't think of you as disabled." These are phrases that erase someone's identity, they ignore systemic realities, and they imply that something like race or disability can automatically be a bad thing and must look a certain way. An individual can be well-meaning, but that does not mean they're well-informed, and a coach can really help leaders identify what habits to break down and reassemble to align more closely with their intent. Number 4, train HR on your accommodation processes and make that information easy for employees to find. This seems like a given, probably, but it's actually pretty terrifying how many HR professionals don't feel comfortable with their company's accommodation process, or they don't know it at all. I hear stories about HR stumbling over their words, simply being caught off guard by the request, and have no idea what to do. Train HR on these things and make sure that employees can find what they need in your employee handbook or on your intranet. Even better, train your managers on what to do if an employee brings up their disability and/or need for an accommodation. This is one area where training can actually be quite impactful in creating change because it can clarify so many misunderstandings around what accommodation is and what it means. Last but certainly not least, use what you have, just use it better. So for disability DEI, it's often not about having separate systems. It's about using what you have more completely and more equitably for your full employee population. So are you automatically turning on closed captioning? Are you using the accessibility features that are actually built into Microsoft Suite? Are you putting corresponding text on your employee intranet whenever you use an infographic? These are all small things that benefit everyone, not just people with disabilities. And you might be thinking, if someone needed these things, they would just ask, right? But unfortunately, that's not always the case. The stigma is so great with disability that plenty of people actually opt out of asking what they need or what would benefit them. in exchange for not dealing with the stigma and doubts and ability that often come with disclosing. So just turn some of these things on, they're already there, and they'll benefit everyone.